Welcome to the Kansas Department of Labor video guide to help employers determine how to properly classify their workers. Workers are considered either employees or independent contractors. To properly classify a worker as an employee or independent contractor, you must follow state law. KSA 44-703, under Kansas Statutes Chapter 44, Article 7, provides legal definitions regarding employment and details conditions under which businesses are required to report employee wages and pay their unemployment insurance taxes. Worker misclassification occurs when an employer incorrectly identifies a worker as an independent contractor rather than an employee. Another form of worker misclassification is paying cash under the table. Do not break the law by paying cash and not paying your payroll-related taxes. Misclassification creates problems for workers. They may lose access to important benefits such as unemployment insurance, workers' compensation, Social Security, and tax withholding. Misclassification can also have serious consequences for businesses. Intentional worker misclassification is illegal and constitutes tax and insurance evasion. Employers who intentionally misclassify workers may be subject to penalties and fines from the Kansas Department of Labor and Kansas Department of Revenue. Kansas state law defines employment as services performed by an individual for wages or under any contract of hire shall be deemed to be employment, subject to this act, if the business for which activities of the individual are performed retains not only the right to control the end result of the activities performed, but the manner and means by which the end result is accomplished. This means employers control or direct the work being performed on their behalf. Whether the employer also controls the means and methods of how that work is performed affects worker classification. This is called the right of control, and it is an important factor in determining whether a worker is considered an employee or independent contractor. If you have the right to exercise control over the manner and means a worker performs services, then that person is considered an employee. In other words, you have oversight of both the work that will be done and how it will be done. If you have the right to discharge a worker at will and without cause, that is considered strong evidence of your right of control. On the other hand, if you have control or direction over the work being performed by a worker, but not how they will accomplish that work, then they may be considered an independent contractor. If an employer controls how work is performed, a worker is considered an employee, regardless of whether a written agreement states the worker is being hired as an independent contractor. If you think an employer is intentionally misclassifying workers to avoid tax payments or other legal obligations, go to dol.ks.gov/fraud and click on the drop-down box called Worker Misclassification and follow the instructions. If you believe you may have unintentionally misclassified a worker, please email kdol.uitax@ks.gov. If you are uncertain how to classify a worker or have further questions, please visit dol.ks.gov/fraud or contact kdol.uitax@ks.gov.